Hello and welcome back to Rue's Life, and here I am on top of Mr. Garth. So I thought I'd do a bit of a different video today, mainly because I wanted to play and experiment with my new microphone. So there's a big possibility that I'm talking into this mic and there's absolutely nothing happening, but I wanted to just see if it was possible to ride, film and use my microphone at the same time. So it's quite cold, I don't want to stand around for too long. Garthy is clipped out and obviously I don't want to get cold either, so we're going to get moving, but I just thought I'd do something a bit different today. Come on Mr. Garth, let's go. So and I will be coming in and out of camera shot. Some of you I know that follow me are horsey, ride and even have horses of your own, but I know for some of you this is something that you wouldn't normally have looked at or been interested in, but I do know that some of you have been a little bit interested in my horsey videos, and I thought it would be more interesting than just putting images or footage of me riding with music. I thought it might be occasionally, I'm not obviously going to be making a big habit of doing loads of these videos, but just pop a little video in and explain a little bit more about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I always start off on a fairly loose rein. Obviously that it's like any athlete, they're not warmed up and you're not going to go straight into work. So I just start on a loose rein and I'm just encouraging him to take the contact. So he's got the bit in his mouth and I'm encouraging him to accept that contact and just drop his head nice and low and relax over his back. I want him to be that when he front foot up, his hind foot down into the place that the front foot lifted off. And we're just in walk at the moment. So sometimes at the beginning of a schooling session with a horse that may be a little tense, or with a horse like Garth who's a little bit older, they're not going to be completely tracking up initially, and that's fine. Some horses will have an over track where they will act their back feet into their front foot. Fish has a tendency to do that. Boots, which are special boots to protect his heels for that. Garth is wearing brushing boots. These are sports boots, and you can see that you may not be able to see these ones because they're black, but when he's got his blue or his white boots on, you'll be able to see them more clearly. But they're simply a boot that supports his whole down over the joint, after those joints. So we're starting off in walk. I just want him to relax, as I say, accept the contact and start to work over his back. And then once we've worked on one rein or in one direction, we'll change the direction and let him stretch it out a bit the other way. I'm working down at this end of the arena simply because we're filming. Again, I know I'm going in and out of shot, but I'm not going all the way down to the other end of the arena, just so that you're not waiting forever to see him coming into shot. So now he's starting to relax, although to be fair to Mr. Garth, he's always pretty relaxed. But you can hear he's having a little sneeze there, that's a good sign that he's chilling. And what I want, as I say, is a nice outline from his nose to tail, so a nice rounded outline. So like a bridge shape, a rainbow shape, but also I want him to be bending and looking to the inside, so wrapping him around my inside leg. I can just see a little bit of his left eye and his left nostril, so they're on the inside, and if I look back I can just see the tip of his tail as well. So he's flexing, making a nice arc shape around my inside leg, which is my left leg at the moment, and he's also making a nice arc from his poll between his ears, the highest point, over his back and to his tail. So we're just going to change direction again. He's having a little jog. Good boy. And as we change direction from one rein to the other, it's important that I try and change the bend with my inside leg and my inside rein to just flex and it'll look the opposite way, because we're now going around on the right rein. He's in walk at the moment, which is a 4-time pace, which essentially means he moves one leg at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I want is nice even steps. We don't want him kind of or taking little, nice even 1, 2, 3, 4 rhythm. And now I've stretched him in the walk, I'm going to pop him up into the trot. So I prepare him by taking my reins a little bit shorter. Boy. And then I ask him to trot. And I'm going straight into rising trot. For those of you in America, I think it's called posting, where I'm rising up and down in the rhythm of his trot. And I need to be sitting as his outside foreleg comes back. And that's to help him stay in balance, and it's called rising on the correct diagonal. Again, I want a nice, even rhythm. The trot is a 2-time gait or 2-time pace because he moves his legs 2 together in diagonal pairs, giving us a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 rhythm. Again, it's important that I work him evenly on both reins in both directions. Steady, good boy. So I'm just going to choose a suitable place. And again, because it's working, I don't want to make my turns too too tight. So I'm making as big turns as I can, and I change my diagonal. So my rising and sitting, and change the rein. So I simply sit for 2. So I'm now sitting as his new outside shoulder, which is his right shoulder, comes back. Steady, good boy. Good lad, steady. So I'm just going to go down to the other end of the arena, simply because I have a grass arena and I try to keep moving, going on the same place or the same track, just so we don't cut it up and spoil it and it doesn't get slippery. If I had a nice sand or bark menage, then obviously that would be different. Steady. So you can see he's just popping his head up. We may be able to see a couple of times, just because he's getting himself a little out of balance, he's rushing and going what we call hollow. So I just need to give him a little half halt, slow him down and make the hand listen. He's probably wondering why I'm so talkative today. Steady, good boy. Good lad. And then we'll trot on the other rein. Good lad. And it's really important to give them little breathers and to let them stretch and relax, and not to just keep working so those muscles get tight and sore. Good boy. We want them to enjoy their work, so we need to make it as easy as we can for them and not be push too hard. So lots of little breathers. And one of the movements in dressage test is actually what they call a free walk on a long rein, and that is where we take them down to walk, we give them a longer rein contact, still keeping a contact. There's a loose rein and a long rein. A loose rein is when you completely give them the head, so that the reins are totally loose. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, almost to the buckle end, but a long rein is simply, as it says on the tin, just a little bit longer. He's hoping that they will stretch and seek that contact lower and make their whole frame bigger, so really stretching down over their back. And as I say, that is a movement in dressage tests where they're looking to see that your horse isn't tight over its back and is loose and relaxed and can work long and low. So now that he's had a little stretch and we've already changed the rein, I'm going to take the contact up again and we'll have a little trot in this direction. Steady. So again, I'm preparing him a little bit shorter, closing my leg, keeping him flexed to the left and asking him to trot. Good lad. And because it is a grass surface and it is a little bit muddy, it's been very frosty here today. Steady, good boy. He's showing me perfectly why. I don't want him to slip. So obviously in a grass arena there are things that you need to take into account that you wouldn't if you were in a sand menage or a fibre menage, or bark, an all-weather surface essentially, or an indoor school. Good boy. So I'm not going to canter today simply because it is a little bit, the ground underneath is quite frozen, and then obviously the top surface could get a little bit slippery. So a combination of those factors, it would not be good for him to canter today, so we're not going to do that. So now I've just given him a little bit more rein and I'm letting him stretch and work long and low. Steady. Lovely, good boy. So he's really focused, he's really listening. What I need to do now is work a little bit more on myself. I have a tendency to pitch forward, so I need to think about sitting up tall, pulling my shoulders back, lifting my chin, carrying my hands and making it look a little bit more professional. Boy. Now that we've got a nice even rhythm and a nice outline, I'm going to change the rein again. I'm just going further down to the end of the arena to make a nice sweeping change of rein. I've sat for 2 to change my diagonal. Steady. This is the corner where he tends to rush and go hollow. Good boy. Just encouraging him. Steady. Not to do that. Good boy. Steady. Good lad. Steady. Ooh. Steady. Struggle with your rhythm in trot is to say to yourself in your head or out loud the days of the week. So we're Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday today. And I really find that helps to slow the rhythm and keep everything together. Good boy. That's lovely. So again, I'm now going to let him stretch. Tact. And work a little bit deeper. Good boy. Good boy. And I need to think about my position. Oh, that's Chris coming home. Hello. He's very steady, good boy. Steady. take him back to walk, good boy, and walk forward. Good lad. Good lad. So I'm going to end this video here because I don't want to bore you senseless, and I will just continue working in the same vein. I will add in some lateral work, which is essentially moving sideways, but I'll talk about that in another video. So for now, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll see you all again soon.